So this banner is just a brick of text. I didn't have any room to put on good banners because there's just so many members that are a part of this class. In A tier, we have one of the fringe members in Refia. Um, I guess it's unfair to call her that because she does. I know I make fun of the fact that some people are limited by doing a 4-hit command, which means they can only do 40k damage a turn. I shouldn't, because hitting that cap isn't really a thing in fights as tough as Magicite dungeons. Um, so the fact that Refia supercharges her ability to deal damage so hard because of her critical BSB and how it works so well with her machine gun USB means that Refia, more than any other character probably on this list, is going to be capping out her damage, and you're kind of okay with that. So while I originally had Refia on the bubble, I don't think it's valid. I think Refia is so powerful that she does so much damage that on bosses that have more defenses than usual, she's still going to perform. And because of that insane multiplier that she has attached to all of her stuff, more so than anyone else has, that gives her an extreme damage potential that makes her S tier capable. Edge, as the water ninja, just spams ninja abilities all game, dual casting and chasing. Very fun character to play, just because of that. Noctis did make it back. I talked to some Japanese players, and it makes so much more sense why Noctis is where he is. He may be non-elemental, but he just does so much damage so quickly. And not only that, but he has this great Super Soul Break, which I have listed there, that also can be part of his rotation that provides instacast to the party. So the fact that Noctis is non-elemental and can effectively go to just about any Magicite means that he can be an instacast party buffer, as well as an extreme damage dealer on almost all Magicites, and it lends a lot of strength to him as a character, and that's not even getting to the fact that he does sick damage with his BSB. Okay, so back to Edge. Edge is interesting where he just keeps chasing with his power blink, physical blink, and is the highest water DPS character in the entire game. That's all. You just keep using ninja abilities, and that's all you need to do. Bartz is probably the highest damage character in the entire game. And not only is he that, but he can do so over multiple elements, which is just great. I believe his elements are earth, water, fire, and water. Because he has the ability to quadricast Spellblades, and because he has to chase USB on top of that, if you quadricast a Spellblade, that means you've chased it 4 times with more Spellblade abilities on top of that. You can just be sitting there attacking forever with Bartz after only using 1 action. He's just, he does some extreme stuff. Extreme stuff. Personally, the first chase mechanic. Let's see, we have Squall with a chase, Vincent's machine gun, Shadow chase, Edge chase, Bart's chase, Zach's a weird one. He gets chase in his legend materia. Zidane utility chase? No, he comes way later. Titus chase comes way later. Chase, that's a good idea. I want to define this for you right now. We'll look at, since we're on Edge, I'll go show you what Chase means. So Edge gets a USB called Wild Moon. 10 random attacks, water, non-elemental, grants Wild Moon to the user. So this is a status that he gets for, I believe, 15 seconds after using his USB. Yep, for 15 seconds. This grants high quick cast 1 after using a water attack. Alright, I didn't realize that. So this is a machine gun and chase. And this is probably why him and Shadow are so damn good. But casts Water Bolt Seal after using a ninja ability if the user has Physical Blink. So what chase is whenever you do something, it's chased by another ability. So, it's a passive effect, and Water Bolt Seal the ability gets cast every time that you use a water ability, as long as you have Physical Blink, and he has ways to generate a lot of Physical Blink, especially with his ninja abilities. That does up to 2 attacks of 2.16 multiplier each if the user has Physical Blink. Yeah, it's a follow-up attack. No, that's no problem, Horse Protect. Not a lot of people know about this. This is not in Global yet. So the chase mechanic is new to a lot of people. So it's bonus damage. And why I was talking about that with Bartz is Bartz has some crazy legend materia that allow him to dual cast Spellblade abilities. Yeah, I'm not sure about the cast time on Chase yet. But I still know that Edge does a whole lot of damage, so I don't have any misgivings about putting him here. So we have a chance to dual cast and a 10% to dual cast twice, so we can quad cast Spellblade abilities. And he is using a chase USB at the same time. And his chase is called Spellblade Flurry. So that whenever you use a type of Spellblade, whether it be wind, water, fire, or earth, he chases it with more Spellblade attacks. It's random, which is a little weird. But you can randomly use 2 to 8 random attacks that do 0.4 each. So if you get the 2, it's only 0.8 total. But you can, there's a 50% chance of getting the 8, which is, 3.2 total, which is just a huge benefit. Huge benefit follow-up attack. And if you quad cast those Spellblades, it casts 4 of these. Yeah. This is why Bartz does the damage that he does. And why Bartz is not considered that great of a character in game right now, but things change. Things change. Alright, moving back to physical. We have Shadow, who is the same thing as Edge. Does all the same things, except Shadow has access to Life Siphon. The only difference is Edge has a Legend Materia that allows him to generate more Physical Blink. So it works together better with the chase, while Shadow can Life Siphon, which allows him to better use his Burst Soul Break to use his ninja abilities instead. So you can just chase with that. And there's that. That's what he does. Cloud is a known quantity, even though what he does isn't in the game yet. You combine his Burst Soul Break 2 with his USB, and you have a monster. You have a monster on your hands. He does a whole crap ton of wind damage. He's the only person in the game, unless you RW it, that can break cap with stuff other than OSBs. So because his BSB has a Dark Bargain command, and a strong scaling multiplier, I believe, on his first command. It means that if all you need to do is USB, then BSB command 2, then BSB command 1 over and over again, and you're likely going to be hitting for a really extreme amount of damage. And it's simple, and there are crazy ways to use his USB as a roaming warrior, but for Cloud alone, it's a very simple equation that makes him really good. 2 times 2 is 3. It depends on the wording. Maybe it is 3 times. Maybe it's the dual cast procs a second time, but 2 dual cast is 4. So I don't know. I'd have to look it up. Regardless, it's still very good, so I'm not changing the rating, even if it is 3 attacks. Moving on, we have Vincent, who appeared on the S tier mage list, and also appears here because there's really no difference between Vincent the mage and Vincent the physical. The only difference that may drop Vincent to A on this list in some people's minds is the fact that he doesn't have life siphon access, so he's still relying on support 4 and Wrath to use his USB and BSB together. Which removes him, or makes him less effective in teams that are using a single stat attack buff, like Shout, to buff up their physical team, because Wrath will override it. However, I still have him here because I believe that multi-stat buffs are so common, or will be at the point where he gets his USB, that the Wrath cancellation for the 3% attack is not really a big concern anymore, since you're most likely to be buffing your party with multi-stat instead of single stat. We have Squall, who's an interesting character on this list because a lot of the people here, I think Refia, Edge, Bartz, Shadow, Cloud, Vincent, Vaan, Lightning, and Noctis, all rely on their, primarily on, maybe less so Noctis, but everybody else is based on their USB, and their BSB augments their USB and allows them to be here. It's different. It's reversed for Squall, where his BSB is the power. It's stronger than any of the other BSBs on this list. And his USB is just there, and it's an added bonus to his BSB. It's nice. I don't know if he's able to output the same amount of damage as some of the others. I think he is, with his 35% dual cast Spellblade Legend Materia, and the fact that you get 2 to 3 uses depending on your party makeup. Use of a 7-hit junction on his Burst Soul Break, and all you need is 1 dual cast on that 7-hit junction, and you're absolutely rivaling, if not exceeding, a lot of the damage output of some of the people on this list. What's nice about Squall is all of his power is dedicated to his Burst Soul Break, which makes him a valuable character to invest in because it doesn't require a large investment to get the gigantic returns. I believe his 35% dual cast Legend Materia isn't even an LMR, though I do believe his LMR is good. No, grants attached ice at the beginning of the battle isn't even that good, because you get granted attached ice for using his Burst Soul Break. So you don't even have to get his LMR. All you need is to moat him, and he gets his strongest 2 Legend Materia. Right, unlike Thancred, who has that bad caveat of having the junction burst soul break that resets his junction. Squalls don't get reset, so if you're able to see, because you have a 35% chance to dual cast Spellblade abilities, that works on junctioning his burst soul break up as well. I'll go look at it. I mean, it's important. And this is S tier. I shouldn't feel bad about delving into the S tiers. So what you do is both of these are Spellblade commands. You use this and it pumps up this, and it doesn't reset the uses. So all you need to do is use it 3 times. 0, 1, 2, 3, and then you're doing 7 attacks. And if you dual cast on the first command, that counts as a Drawing Junction dual use, and that allows you more time within the scope of the Burst Soul Break to use your 7-hit attacks. So the faster you can get this up, the faster you can get this up, and the more of these that you get up, the more chances that you get to dual cast these. And if you look at the multiplier, it more than makes up for the fact that you're using this for small amounts of damage, because 7 times 1.25 is, 8.75? No, not even that. What am I talking about? Yeah, it is. Whatever. Yeah, getting dual class on Ravor basically means you win. So it's nice that Squall's power is in one relic. Because if you get that relic, you win with him. Yeah, it's an 8.75. I was right. Oh, and you get the critical chance too. So if you've got crit damage increases in the party, like Zac or something, or this is a stacking crit chance. So if you have Eiko or Zell in the same realm as Squall, this will stack with those crit fixers for a total of 75% crit chance. The weapon is coming up pretty soon. However, I will not suggest going for it on the banner that it comes out on. The banner that it comes out on is not that good. It's littered with a lot of junk, and the Final Fantasy VIII banner that comes after it is much more solid all around, as well as giving you a choice between the magical ice on the second banner, magical ice and wind on second banner, and Squall's BSB2, LMR, and USB appearing on the first banner. So it's more Squally, but I wouldn't say it's bad, because like I said, all you need is Squall's BSB2 for him to be effective. And extremely effective at that. Vaan. Vaan is interesting, non-elemental, and he's got to be interesting in order for non-elemental to be effective. However, he's mostly a known quantity. Vaan and his Burst Soul Break do a deceptive amount of damage, as well as being highly utility focused. I include him and consider his utility to be very useful, not only because he does that magic debuff, but because that defensive debuff adds a lot of damage to parties that a lot of people, I don't know, it doesn't register that it's being caused by the Vaan's defense shredding. But the fact that Vaan just shreds defenses, and also has the ability to use his USB now, is what makes him, that his USB plus BSB gets him up here. So he shreds defense, and then he starts using his USB, which gives him instacast thief skills, which it doesn't make sense to use anything but Thief's Revenge with him. So it's coupled with this legend materia as well. Vaan's legend materia, duration of stat debuffs, important for his ability to deal damage, because you have to use his debuffs less often. But this is really the key to Vaan. Increases damage dealt by 5, 10, 15, 20, or 30% if a certain number of the target stats are lowered. Most of the time, you're going to be looking at a 20% damage increase, which is awesome. But if you're able to pentabreak, 50 or 30% just flat damage increase is absurd. It's really really high, and that's plus the fact that you get another non-elemental damage increase from his USB. Sky Pirate, I believe it's called. X Sky Pirate. Thief abilities deal 30% more damage. So the possibility of getting 30% more damage from his Legend Materia 2, 30% more damage doing Thief abilities here, and cast speed of basically making all Thief abilities instant cast means that you're Thief's Revenging for a very, very high amount of damage every single turn. And for the duration of the USB, which would be 15 seconds. So that's like at least four Thief's Revenges with a very short amount of time. And he's practically invulnerable during that time because you're doing probably at least 40,000 damage, which is going to full heal him every turn. So that's why he's here. And this is all a high amount of damage, not including the fact that he has shredded the defenses of the enemy, and you're getting more damage from the rest of your physical party through that means too. So that's added damage that you get elsewhere. You can blow 8. Well, there you go. That's even more crazy than I thought it was. I was lowballing him. So that's why Vaan's here. Even though most consider him a support character, he is not. He is a damage dealer with high debuffing capability. Lightning has a machine gun USB, and what this means, I did go into chase, but now we're going to do machine gun. And this is just my own terminology for it. I don't know what else, what other people are using. X-Flash? Yeah. So what her USB gives her is high quick cast 1 on cast, and then every time you use a lightning attack after that point, you get high quick cast again. So what it's basically meant to accelerate all of your attacks. So you probably life siphon up to 2 bars, and then use her USB, then her BSB2, because the high quick cast will apply to the BSB2 attack, as well as providing another high quick cast 1 to you, because her BSB2 is a lightning attack. And then you just start spamming whichever BSB command is more useful for the fight. And because they're ninja cast time, the high quick cast 1 added to the ninja cast time commands means you're probably going to be insta-casting 4-hit lightning attacks every single turn against an imperiled target and doing very, very high damage. Yes, TGC's OSB buff is very similar, yeah. Where it, high quick cast 1 is, it gives you 33% cast time, and same as the OSB buff. They are different in the way they're worded, and it's important because there's a possibility for stacking sometimes. But there is diminishing returns in quick cast. However, in this case, you're attacking with her burst commands at like 0.26. Pretty fast. Pretty damn fast. And that's why I call it machine gun. It's just C1, 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 C1. And then you do it all over again. And last on the list is a unique kind of character. He's machine gun, but for other reasons. Because he doesn't need a USB or a USB to provide it. However, his USB does provide stuff, and it provides it well. How originally we spoke about Noctis's USB or OSB in the buff it provides, lasting as long as Stone Skin lasts, and that is a good and a bad thing because it's an infinite duration effectively unless your stone skin expires. So you can keep refreshing the stone skin and keep it up. However, it's hard to keep up stone skin 30%. Noctis doesn't have that problem with his USB. Because on cast, he gets the 10 single attacks and grants X royal power and stone skin 100%. So 100% of Noctis's maximum HP is turned into a bubble. That's gigantic and turns him into one of the more spongy characters in the entire game. And get out of here. I don't have to... Oops. This is removed if the user doesn't have stone skin. However, it does have a duration attached to it. So your stone skin is probably going to last 15 seconds. So you're looking at a 15-second duration. And it gives them attack 30% and increases the non-elemental damage dealt by 10%. It's a good status. But really what we're looking at here is stone skin 100% plus attack 30% plus a 10% damage boost, because everything he does is non-elemental anyway. And this is good. However, Noctis is enabled by his Burst Soul Break, and this is what turns him into the machine gun character. It itself is instacast and grants haste in Combat King. Combat King is a strong physical buff. And his burst commands are essentially saying to you, they give you high quick cast 2. How I would use this, I think I've turned on it a little bit. Before it was high quick cast 2, and then you use the like Omega Drive, then you high quick cast 2, that again, then Omega Drive, then high quick cast 2 again, then Omega Drive. You can do that, and that's going to do a lot of damage. And then you can use the Smart Ether and Stone Skin 30% in case you ever run out. However, I think because he has the dual cast combat, it may be smart to just or use the command 1 to high quick cast to him, and then Life Siphon, and alternate those, so you can keep his Burst Soul Break and his USB active at all times. Or in the case of if you just have his Burst Soul Break, then it makes a lot more sense to not worry about just make sure that you have enough Soul Break to infinitely maintain his Burst Soul Break. Otherwise, loop in some Omega Drives in there. And another good part about why he's able to sustain all of this at once and his machine gunning is he is the second wielder of a Legend Materia that is extremely powerful, and that is the chance to dual cast combat abilities, which includes Life Siphon, so you can potentially just gain absurd amounts of Soul Break every single turn. And being able to start out the battle with Instacast 3 definitely works in his favor in getting his base established immediately. I mean, imagine Instacast 3 Life Siphons and one of them is dual cast. Yeah, you can double Life Siphon. Yeah. Are there any dual cast support? Master, Leon, Arc, Refia, Dash, Edge, Galoof, Bartz, Extef, Terra, Celis, Sabin, Shadow, Cyan, Cloud, Vincent, Squall, Beatrix, Kuja, Titus, Lulu, Oron, Ayame, Lion. Lion's pretty close. Balthier, Ash, Vayne, Lightning, Vanille, Sid Reigns, Ishtola, Ida, Papalimo, Noctis, Iris, Delita, Ovelia, Rafa, Myrick, Deuce, Amo. No, he's White Magic. That's it. I mean, dual cast support isn't all that hot anyway. That's why we like Setzer so much, is because he chases with something that augments his ability to any support ability that you just used. Oh, dual cast Wrath, I got you. Well, yeah, TRM. That's what I meant. I was searching dual casting, looking for a support that could use it. Doubles Life Siphon with Ace Striker overkill? Yes, unless you have Noctis's OSB, USB, and Burst Soul Break. And as an added benefit to Noctis, and while we're here, I told you Noctis has a very, very good Super Soul Break. Very good Super Soul Break and worth using. So all of this, his double Life Siphons with Ace Striker isn't overkill because he has a very high amount of things that he can use it with. He has Link Strike Gladiolus, which is an instacast Super Soul Break, does good damage, 6 attacks, and instacast 1 to all allies, including himself. Very, very powerful Super Soul Break. And with the fact that Noctis attacks so fast and can dual cast his Life Siphons, means it makes all the sense in the world that more than any other character, he can probably maintain 3 Soul Breaks at once. Kind of nuts. And this is why I misevaluated him when I talked about him yesterday. He belongs in S. And also, I mean, added benefit, he's a super fun character to play. Because he's just doing so many things all at once. I'm only going to go into S on physical because it is such an expansive tier. A lot less to talk about on A. And that's the conclusion of the summaries of lists. Ugh.